Messiah is a living God. At the same time, therefore, Messiah is the answer to the question, what is God? At the same time, Messiah is the living answer to the question, what is man? Therefore, by understanding his way of life, we can understand how to live. Therefore, by understanding his way of loving God, also we can learn how to love God. And also, next will be by seeing, watching and understanding how he loved his own spouse. Also, we can understand how to love the spouse. Also, by watching mother to love father, also we can understand how to love from the wife's point of view, how to love the husband. Therefore, true parents, the living answer to the question, what is a man? How to live? How to love? Then actually, when mother was blessed with, at the time of holy matrimony, from the time of the holy matrimony, father's course or mother's course, especially mother's course, wasn't an easy course. Because mother herself must go through the old course of restoration. All the course of restoration, from the servant to servant, to servant, then adopted child, and stepchild, and true child, that way must go up. Therefore, actually, mother's course was so hard. Then the first wife to father failed because couldn't overcome such difficulties. But true mother, with absolute trust in father and obedience to father, mother really and finally broke through all kind of difficulties, and finally assumed the position of a true mother. That's mother's victory. But nevertheless, at the same time, then when we actually it's impossible to understand everything, but by just glancing at the relationship between father and mother, we can feel something about the way how to deal with the spouse. Of course, you may see, may not see, but anyway, a father and mother always together, and when they walk on the street or even in the elevator, if watching, we just go. For instance, when we had 160,000 Japanese women's education, the big auditorium where we can accommodate 55,000 people. Not sitting like that, just jam-packed, no place. Once it's amazing, because too many, 5,000 people come, 6,000 people come. Then do you know how to do? That all stand up, all at once, Then in the beginning, if asked to stand from the front line, then gradually go back, Then maybe 1,000 people cannot go in the house, home room at all. Therefore, they started to do that. Okay, you can sit down from the back row. Then they gotta come go. 100 people flowing, they're already overflowing. Then finally, I got the idea. Okay, sit down all once, all at once. Then someone couldn't move anymore. But anyway, in that kind of workshop, that specific auditorium was in the 3rd floor. Then by the very slow elevator, we went up there. Did someone go from here? No. Then it was a good chance to, because the elevator is so slow, that's why it's a good chance to report to Father, ask the question to Father, because Father cannot move. That time, the father standing here, mother standing there. But even people almost jump back. But still, just I watched. Then here, father and mother is holding hands to each other. And that's always father, mother walked hand by, holding hand to each other. That's nice to see, to watch. But it's a old story, but for me, it's an unforgettable experience. I think it is 1970, around 70. I had a chance to, because some mission, I visited Korea so many times, every month, and stayed 2, 3, 4 days always, and with father. Or sometimes went to Cheonpyeon by car, and something like that, and then many talks and many things, and that memory was so precious to me. And sometimes I just fell asleep on father's shoulder. But anyway, at that time, one time we went to the some factory where they're making a marble base. Marble base. Then, on the way, it was just beginning of the spring. And in Korea, spring season is so nice. And trees are budding, and flowers are coming, and especially azalea, azalea was blooming. And I was in the front, front seat of the car, and the father and mother were behind the back seat. And I was watching. Then from behind the voice came, "How do you feel to see the fatherland?" And then because I was feeling so good, therefore I said, "Father, I feel so good." Then father didn't say anything. Then I didn't say anything. But in such case, actually, because father is working so hard, father usually, sleeps in the car. Therefore, it is not so polite to talk to father so much. That's why I was silent. But this time, not only father, but mother also behind. I became gradually curious. What's happening behind? What's happening over there, just here? You know? Then I couldn't control my curiosity. Yeah, I just tried to, just control my curiosity. No. I shouldn't see, I shouldn't see this way. My feeling was, but I shouldn't, but still it's impossible to control. Then finally, I just looked. then, I thought father was asleep, but the father was wide awake. And my eye and the father's eye. Oh, no. But still, I couldn't control my curiosity. What I want to see was not what if father was awake or not, but what happening between father and mother. That's my curiosity. Then I tried one more. Then I couldn't go until I can just I can see the facts. I couldn't stop. Then finally, knowing that father is watching me, I looked. Then, you know what happening? Actually, mother was lying down on the lap of father's lap. Then, do you know what happening? Father was stroking the mother's hair. Yes. Wow. I was satisfied. Now I saw. Just a little story, but it's a one glance of the relationship between father and mother. That's why, and you husband, if you're husband, if you're married, you can do that. You can do that. It's after by seeing what father doing, you can do that. Then your wife must be very happy. Okay, thank you. Then, on the way back, from that factory, it was almost sun is setting. The sky was red and yellow, and say even pink, or even say orange colored. Entire sky became the orange colored. Then, reflecting the orange light, the people who are wearing a white robe, walking on the street, it became orange. The entire world became orange. It's so beautiful. It's a spring season. It's a beautiful scene. And I was so happy to watch that. Then all of a sudden, at the time actually, father and mother took the little boy, that time little boy, now big man, but 현진님, one to the third son, 현진님, maybe 2 years old, and then all of a sudden, in such a beautiful scene, I'm sure father, mother must have been so, so moved to see such a beauty. Then I don't know who began, but father, mother, started to sing song, or mother started to sing song, I don't know. But it became the duet. It's beautiful between father and mother just behind me. Then in that song, all of a sudden, I couldn't understand because it's Korean, but the name of Hyunjin came into the a song. Hyunjin. Wow. I was so glad, so happy. That just I didn't like, somehow I wanted to, take, tape that feeling. Then fortunately I had a tape recorder with me. Then because in order to take tape recorder, you don't have to look back, That's why I just push the button, and just a little mic, microphone, or just behind I put here, to tape the duet of father and mother. And I took pretty well. I was so happy, Wow, finally I got it. Then I went back and just heard the song. Then such a beautiful duet wasn't there anymore at all. Instead, the noise of car. Only noise of car, noise of car was recorded. But still, even a tape recorder could not, take that's the duet. But my heart, that was recorded deeply, much deeply in my heart. Whenever I remember that scene, I can come back to such a beautiful memory with true parents. This is what I mean is, this is if you think this is God, Heavenly Father, He had experience to watch the pure and innocent children, Adam and Eve, running around and praying on the ground or wherever. God must have been so happy to see them. But God never experienced the happiness to watch His own loving son and daughter, the matured son and daughter, and married son and daughter. God never seen. That's why to see such a beautiful scene, God must have been so moved and so touched and so inspired. God must have had such a joy. When I realized these facts, I really understood this is a kingdom of heaven. That's a kingdom of heaven. It's a true Garden of Eden. Therefore, the memory that is still living in me is not just mine. That's why I wanted to share with you a little bit, so that you can also feel even a little bit about the love between true father and true mother. In other words, how should husband and wife love each other? And also, it may be telling at the same time how to love children. Therefore, this is a living example of how to love spouse and how to love children. Therefore, not philosophical, not theological, but as a living example of love between husband and wife, and between parents and children. They are the real example of way of life. One day, Father told to us, actually he says that the mother is a woman. So a woman is always concerned or interested if how much her husband loves her. That's a big concern and big interest to mother. Therefore, Father says, even mother occasionally asks to Father, Father, do you love me? Mother asks, he says. Then, do you know what the answer? Father, this father's talk, Answer is, of course, yes. Yes, I love you, but not as much as, as much as he loves God, because mother is not still as big, as great as God himself. That's Father's explanation. To the extent mother grows, then Father's love toward mother grows. Then when Father came to Japan, 1967, Hyojin came together with two parents, and at that time he was 5 years old, boy. Then praying with water, Then when some lady came back from outside, this lady was taking care of Hyojin. Then as soon as that lady came in the house, because the Hyojin was praying with the water, with the hose, that was pretty high pressure hose. Then all of a sudden, turned the tip of the hose against the eyes of that lady. Then, because of this attack, this lady had trouble with eye, and so became so red and couldn't see. Just maybe one day or so where, Then the father came back from outside and found out this story. Then the father called, Hyojin, come. He knows already what may happen. Then the father is Hyojin came. Hyojin, what did you do with the lady? He couldn't say anything. The lady cannot see anymore. What should you do? I think it's better for you to give your eyes to the lady. Can you do that? Because you did. She can't see anymore. Then Hyojin, what? Cried so loudly. Then father told, now you understand what you did. That's why don't do anymore. Now, this is how father educated Hyojin. Not just scolding without, letting children understand. That with clear understanding, what's wrong with that. Then when he understands, he scolds and teach clearly why it was wrong. Not just a theory, but it's a substantial, explanation. Can you give your eye? That's a good education. In other words, the way that the father teaches children should be also our way to educate, to raise our own children. Because we should inherit his way of raising children to our children. And one time, father children and also breast children are called to the East Garden. And our father was giving 3 hours talk. I was there. And the main talk of the point of the education from father directly to his own sons and daughters and breast children was 2 points. 2 points. One, the same education as God's education. Do not eat the fruits from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's education. It's a number 1 education. This issue is very serious from now on. Maybe when you will have children sometime later, and become kindergarten, and then become 5th grade, 6th grade, and 11th grade, 12th grade. I don't know. They become 15, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That period. If they make mistake, it's a tragedy. That's why this must be well educated. This point must be well educated. Okay? This is number 1. Number 2 education was even the true children, or even second generation, they should go the same course as father went, as true parents went. When father came as Messiah, to become Messiah, and he said to the people, I came as Messiah. Believe me and follow me and obey me, and you will be saved. If this was father's attitude, how do you think? How many people were saved? How many people could join him? Not one. Therefore, father didn't say so, didn't take such a arrogant attitude. Instead, went into the bottom and served others. From the servant to servant this way. And moved the heart of people So that out of joy and gratitude, disciples began to follow Father. Therefore, even second generation, even the father children, father was asking, should go the same course as father went. One time, I had the chance to visit Europe with Ejinim and Unjinim and the Hunjinim who went into spirit world. We are together 3 weeks, always. Then there are many stories about that, unforgettable stories, especially about Hunjinim. But this point is different. But anyway, Ejinim, she was, I think, that time 17 or 18. It's between adult and child. She had a real hard time to adjust the human relationship. Especially European members had never chance to see the true children. Therefore, they they just were expecting like God, small God, must be perfect, something like that. But actually, true children don't like this kind of attitude from members, because they want to be, be just natural. But anyway, the members didn't know how to attend, and real hard time. And that's why, in one sense, Asian had a difficult time, kind of occasionally upset, and also some other things. But the main point is this. That's why she was kind of upset. That's why, and even didn't like to have communication with members. But we just worried. This situation must be improved somehow. Then I was eventually, also I didn't like, but eventually I was asked to talk to Asianim about this. Somehow, she should understand a little more about the situation, reality. Then we sat down and on the table, sat and talked. I talked to Asianim and to Asianim. I know that you are the first daughter of true parents. If this world is heavenly, you're the one really accepted and received very politely, the right way by the world. But this world is still fallen. Even the member of Unification Church don't know anything. Then, if if you take okay, I'm the daughter of true parents attitude, it's like that. They cannot understand anything. The Father came as a Messiah, But he didn't show that kind of way. Instead became the servant of servant and served others, fallen man, and moved the heart of people. This way, a father found a lot of followers, and father is now respected by all. Then Ejinim cried. Then what happened? From the night, that's the same evening, Ejinim's attitude totally changed. And even members didn't come. Ejinim went and smiling and greeting and talking to them, how are you? Are you feeling okay? I was amazed to see such a change with a pure heart. And within a couple of days, the relationship was restored, and the members are so happy with Ejinim. And then, even when that trip was over, actually by that time, in the beginning, this 17 or 18 years old girl don't know the value of money. Didn't know the value of money. What kind of difficult course the members went through to make that money. But now, she realized this point also. Then when she saved money a lot, didn't spend any more, if not absolutely necessary. Then kept some money, and when that trip was over, there's Mr. Kamiyama and President Salon, and that time American President and myself, three. The leftover money which she had was divided into three, and came to us and gave that money and said, please buy something for your family as a gift. To see this kind of example, actually this is the father's education. In other words, go the same course as father went. Therefore, after the father's way, we also should educate our own second generation to be able to sacrifice themselves for the sake of others and restore the heart of people. The second generation also must go, the blessed children also must go the same way as we go. This is the learning, inheritance from father's way of life, father's way of education of his own children. There are many other things, but then these are kind of or how to deal with creation, or there are many other things. Also, how to deal with members. That part will be explained more later. That's why. But anyway, father's way of taking care of members. In other words, sacrificing his own loving ones. Love someone who is far away from him. Sacrifice himself, sacrifice his own family, sacrifice his own parents or brothers and sisters. He loved us. This is how he is now. This point can be discussed later in the next presentation of next topic. But anyway, by seeing Father's way of life, in other way of life, we can understand how should we lead our own life. Father is a true parent, as a living example of true way of life. Also, mother's care for father is just incredible. This aspect must be inherited. Then, I told this aspect, then there must be another aspect, this one. In other words, then what could be our attitude towards true parents? But before understanding this one, there will be one more important point. I talked about inheritance, but there's one more essential point. How to understand the love of the Messiah. How to experience the love of the Messiah without being together substantially. We are usually told that love others. This is of course important, but also it is very important how to receive love. Without receiving love, you cannot give love. That's why, in that sense, it is also another important thing to understand the love from the Messiah. Now, if you have a chance to live together with a true parent personally, surely you can experience love from true parents. But in the corner of your heart, there must be some feeling. Yeah, I understand Father is the Messiah. Sure, Father is the Messiah. But I'm sure also that he doesn't know me. He does not know me. He doesn't know my name. He doesn't know what I'm doing. He doesn't know what is my mission. Even he doesn't know if I'm here. How is it possible to love him, or to understand his love? There might be this kind of feeling. Do you have a little bit lonely feeling in one sense? I'm walking in the cold place in the corner of the Russia, the Siberia or some small land or city or town where no one knows. Then what could be the love of the Messiah? Someone may have a chance to, if you go if you have chance to go to this garden and invited by Father, and Father come to you personally, and what's your name? where did you come? What am I doing now? So how about your wife? How about your husband? Yeah, your husband must be this kind of person. Yeah, usually it's right, you know. But yeah, that's why you should just a little, you know, take care of your husband, because your husband has a little weak point. This is this point. Without seeing father says sometimes. And oh, you work so hard. I know that. Please, you know, then I appreciate what you're doing. Then if he said this kind of things, surely you feel so happy. And take you to some shopping center and buy new suits for you, and new shoes for you, and everything for you. How do you think? Even just stay just 1 week with Father that way, you are in heaven. But if this is a love from the Messiah, how many people can receive the love from Messiah in the universe, in the world? Only a handful of people. Only a handful of people can receive such a love. Then other people will never be given any love from the Messiah. Then the Messiah's love must be a little different from such kind of going shopping center together. Going shopping center together with two parents cannot be the most essential aspect of the love of the Messiah. Maybe, surely, must be different. Then what could be the true meaning of the love of the Messiah? When you Christians love Jesus, Christians feel love from Jesus. Did John Paul II, did he meet with Jesus? Did he? There's no Christians who met with Jesus personally. And that they dedicate their own lives to Jesus because they feel love from Jesus. Then the love of the Messiah may be a little different from just a personal relationship, skin-to-skin relationship. Might be a little different. Then what could be the true meaning of the love of the Messiah? When you remember when you are a little baby, a little boy or girl, I'm sure you felt the joy and the peace when you are embraced by your mother or father, and when you slept on the lap of mother. That time you felt joy and peace and happiness as a little baby. Likewise, even in our movement, when the movement was young, actually there was such a period, especially until 1960. The relationship between father and the members are like that. Like a babyhood period, skin-to-skin relationship. The real deep personal relationship was there. But time went by, the providence progressed a lot. Now Father is not in the position to take care of individuals. His mission is to take care of nation by nation. That's why his real mission is to take care of the top of the nations, not the individuals. It doesn't mean he has no love to us. It's no difference from before. But nevertheless, substantially, Father cannot take care of individuals so much. Then what could be the love of the Messiah? First of all, number one, the truth of God, divine principle. Father's message, that's an expression of the love of the Messiah. We are born from our physical parents. But physical parents gave food and clothing and took care of us so well. Nevertheless, they couldn't guide the children's life in true sense. It's only by the divine principle or other messages that we can find out the true way of life, how to live true way of life, and how to fulfill the purpose of life. In other words, by fulfilling the purpose of life, we can become happiest. We can become happiest. Then in order to find out this truth of God, Father went through the unspeakable struggles, fighting against with Satan, struggling with Satan, overcoming Satan. He found out the truth of God. And he's giving that content unconditionally, so that we can receive it, we can practice it, and we can become truly happy. This means Father went through a suffering course, unspeakable suffering course, to make us happy by finding the truth of God. Isn't it love? Isn't it love? Then this love is given to anyone, as long as you are human. Therefore, love of the Messiah can be given to anyone. To Americans, to Chinese, to Russians, to Africans, to Asians, doesn't matter. Which parents do you think can make you happier in true sense? Physical parents or true parents? Without this message, you can't fulfill the purpose of life. You cannot become happy in true sense. That's why true parents is true parents in true sense, because they are much better or higher and deeper than our own physical parents. Much deeper love than our own physical parents. even we can feel love from our physical parents, still love from true parents are much deeper in true sense. Number 2, the blessing. Time. Blessing is the great expression of great love from the Messiah. Number 3 is the tribe of Messiah. Number 4 is the mission that we have now. Maybe about these points we can discuss in the afternoon session. Ten minutes before 1, just right? Okay, thank you.
Присоедините моей молитве.